guys, long time no see. If you are not new here, welcome back. Sorry that it's taken me so long to give you any kind of update on my life. And if you are new here, my name is Tatiana Ward. I spent many years on YouTube teaching makeup tips, turned into a struggling makeup artist, then I turned into a celebrity makeup artist, and now I've turned into somebody's mommy. But this video here today is about none of that. I basically just wanted to come to you guys today and give you the rundown on my experience with Wigovi. I wanted to just kind of walk you on the journey for how I got on Wigovi and what does that mean. Okay, so let's start here. What is Wigovi? It is a injectable that you put into your body once a week. It has to be doctor prescribed. It's a weight loss injection. Wigovi also goes by several different other names, but everything under this blanket of these injectables that are for weight loss is a synthetic called semaglutide. So now what is semaglutide? Semaglutide is a hormone. It is a synthetic hormone that is meant to duplicate the body's natural hormone that produces the little notifications that go up to your brain and tell you that you're full. So essentially what this drug does is it tells your brain that you are full. So a lot of you might not have ever struggled with feeling like you're never full or nothing going off in your brain telling you it is time to stop eating. If you followed me here on my channel for a long time, you know that my weight has always fluctuated and I've always struggled with my weight. However, I didn't get on Wigovi because I was going to my doctor and asking about how I could lose weight. Let me backtrack though and just show you just right off the bat so you could see what this looks like. This is my Wigovi shot. It initially came in a packet of 4. You take off this little cap, and inside of there, which you can't really see, there is a needle. How it works is that you press the needle, not to your hand. There's like 4 different places that you can inject this. Again, it's a once a week injectable. You can do it on your outer thighs, you can do it in your belly, you could do it in your arms. The needle, however, is not exposed to you and you never see the needle. Looking in here, I can see it, but I can't even really see how long it is or anything. What happens is you press this into the surface. So now you're pressing it into your skin. You wait for, this is your telltale. This is what tells you that the medication is being injected into the body. It slowly turns yellow. You hear 2 clicks, you count to 10, and then you pull it out. I'm not squeamish about needles or anything like that. You might be, in which case I hear that you can go to your doctor and have them inject it for you. But just so we know what we're talking about, this is what we're talking about. Again, it comes in a packet of 4. I am to take 1 a week, and then after I am done my pack of 4, the dosage gets upped again. And then you get a stronger dosage, another set of 4, all the same dosage. So my first 4 are 0.25 milligrams. You can see there, 0.25 milligrams. And once I conclude these 4, it'll go up to another 4. And then I believe there's 2 more sets of 4. You'll have to fact check me on that. But the dosage goes up and you stay with 4 for 4 weeks of the same dosage and then you move up. So now that we have that out of the way, what it looks like, I just want to talk to you about how my doctor came to prescribe it to me. It was kind of an accident. I was not going to my doctor asking about how I could get on this medication. In fact, I had never heard of it before my doctor told me about it. So really what I was doing was I was calling around to endocrinologists because, TMI alert, I have a history of having really irregular periods. Since the start of my period until present day, and I'm like knocking on 40's door, I've always had irregular periods. So much so that without getting too graphic, I've had to get like blood transfusions. So my primary doctor, when I tell them this, they say, talk to your gynecologist. My gynecologist, when I tell them this, they say, oh, well, we can give you birth control to regulate your period. This January, I hadn't had my period for 1 year. The last time I had a period was the January before. And so finally, after going through years of just, first of all, I was moving around a lot. Again, I was a traveling makeup artist. I was living in LA. I was living in New York. I was living in Jersey. I was moving all around. So having like a stationary doctor wasn't even a thing. And then for many years prior to that, I just was a struggling makeup artist and didn't have insurance at all. So I never really saw one particular doctor, and there were time spans where I just wasn't seeing a doctor at all. So now that my life is kind of settling down, I have a child, I'm stationary, working with my doctor, and he's telling me to go to my gyno, and my gyno is like, you need to just take birth control. To me, I'm just frustrated, and I'm like, okay, for years, whatever doctor I was seeing, or, whatever at the time, everybody's cure was always birth control. And my whole thing is that is a Band-Aid, but I want to know what's going on with my body. Why am I really not getting a period? Like, I don't get a period for an entire year. By the way, my daughter's 3.5, so it's not like I had just had a baby and I didn't get a period for a year. It wasn't that. Anyway, so I call around and I find an endocrinologist, and I go in and I see him and I say, this is the deal. My period is super out of whack. It always has been since the start of my period. And I feel like my weight and my period are probably linked. My doctor then proceeds to run a bunch of tests. I get tests done where he's testing for diabetes, he's testing for thyroid, he's testing for POS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. He's just checking everything that he can check. And he also starts talking to me on our initial consultation. He's talking to me about my weight and do you do a lot of what he called mindless eating. So anyway, he runs all these tests. He determines that I don't have diabetes. I don't have any thyroid issues. He is still, at present day, checking to see about polycystic ovarian syndrome. So I'm still waiting on that. But he suggests that I speak to a nutritionist in the meantime. I speak to a nutritionist who he recommended, and she tells me about this weight loss injection. And she says, I think you would fare really good with that. And I say, okay, I'd like to read about it, whatever. She says, if the doctor approves your insurance, you got to call your insurance, see if they approve it, and you can get the medication, whenever. My doctor is in the same office. She asked my doctor approves, meaning my endocrinologist, and my endocrinologist then calls in what they call a PA, which is, I forget what it stands for, and it's so obvious what it stands for, but it's basically an authorization. My insurance company receives the authorization and they say, I'm good to go. I call back the endocrinologist and I say, hey, my insurance cleared it. He says, okay, I'll call it in for you. And then this all happened probably within days. I had the Wigovi in my hand. But as this was happening and approvals were being waited for and all of that, I start going down the rabbit hole of what is Wigovi. And then I find out that there is Ozempic. Ozempic is also semaglutide. Ozempic is used to treat diabetes. They realize that this drug causes people to lose weight. They then rebrand it and market it to people to lose weight. So Wigovi and Ozempic, same drug, different names. And then I begin reading that people are struggling to even get Wigovi. And then I begin reading that people's insurance aren't approving it. And then I begin reading that people's doctors are telling them, listen, you have to lose weight in order to even get on this drug. And so it just so happens that I accidentally fell into something that, it's just a blessing, I guess. Like, I just fell into something that I wasn't even looking for. And it turns out people are clamoring to get to this drug because it is so effective. And their insurance companies won't approve it, and their family doctor will not approve it. It just so happens I went to a hormone doctor, and it seems to be that people are having a lot of luck getting their hormone doctor or their endocrinologist to approve it. I don't know. I'm not a medical professional by any means. I think we established I'm a makeup artist. I don't know nothing about medicine. But it just so happens that I did all the steps without even realizing it and happened upon this drug. So that is how it came to be that I started Wigovi. Now, when you Google Wigovi or Ozempic, or there's another one, or there's a couple more that are injectable semaglutide, you hear a lot of horror stories about this drug. And I wholeheartedly believe that there are a lot of horror stories about this drug. However, the overwhelming response is that it works. So I am in my first 4 pens, which means I am at the 0.25 dosage. I hear a lot of people say that these horrible side effects begin once you step up to the next dosage. But then again, I read a lot of people saying that they had awful effects with this dosage, the beginning dosage. I virtually had no side effects. So let me tell you, I'd like to just briefly tell you the things that I did in that time span where I was waiting for approval from insurance. I was reading so much, and I think I did some things that really helped me get past the side effect stage. Now, what are the side effects of Wigovi? I'm not talking about, you could go to wigovi.com. I don't know if that's the actual website. I'll put the actual website in here. You could go there and read what their side effects are. I personally like to hear from real people. I read all that, but I want to hear from real people what's going on with them too. Real people are saying that there is hella crazy nausea. Real people are saying that there is diarrhea and belching, but overwhelmingly people talk about the nausea. So as soon as I read that, I said, okay, I'm gonna try to combat this. So I began to prep my body immediately. And how I did that was by taking B12 vitamins that I got off of Amazon. I had already had these because one of my clients said, oh, you need to take B12 to keep your energy up. She told me this months ago, and I never did. And it was just randomly, I just had B12 sitting around. So I started putting that in my body before I ever got the medication. Also, I just read so much. I think it's interesting, and I want to note, the nutritionist explained what Wigovi was to me. She didn't even explain it, actually. She said, there's a weight loss injectable. I think you'd be a great candidate. Here's the name of it. I'll ask the doctor if you're approved for it. She explained nothing to me, nothing. So I went and I, went down the rabbit hole, and I read as much as I could from real folks. And then when the prescription was approved, my doctor's office called and said, do you have any questions? They didn't, it's not like they were like, you need to come in, we need to have a sit down, we really need to talk about that. None of that. So it was really me and Reddit is who figured this out. And I'm not mad at my doctor's office. They made it very clear that if I had questions, I could come in. But I felt so informed by everything that I had read, not only on Wigovi's website, but also on Reddit. Okay, so back to the nausea. What people say about the nausea is really what it is that this drug, semaglutide, will keep you from being hungry to the point that you forget to eat. And then you're nauseous. I've also read people say that they just got nauseous for no reason. My experience is I have yet to be nauseous for no reason. Nausea is always an indication that I need to eat something. And when I eat, I have to eat the right thing. So I think a lot of us are overweight because we don't know how to eat. I am overweight because of willful ignorance. I know how to eat. I just don't. The good thing is that because I am less hungry and because I'm aware that I am taking this drug and I'm taking it to make a lifestyle change because I need to change something so that I am not constantly gaining and losing weight. When I get hungry, I will reach for carrots. I'll reach for something small and I will be satisfied off of something little. I've heard a lot of people say that greasy food is the devil. So I very much do not reach for greasy food. Had I not read as much as I read, when I get hungry, I would go out and possibly eat French fries, and then I am vomiting because the body can't handle the oil. So staying away from grease is something that I heard time and time again. So I knew not to go for grease. Again, this is only my first week and a half. It might be totally different when I up my dosage, but for now, I can only speak from this experience and my body. B12 helps pull the nutrients from the food that you're eating to make sure that it's being used for energy. Fatigue is also part of this. I haven't really experienced fatigue. Not a lot anyway. Not any more than I have from having a 3.5-year-old. But what it does is help you pull, because I'm eating much less, it's pulling the nutrients and turning it into energy. It helps aid that process, I should say. I want to talk about a Costco membership. Costco had everything that I need for my Wigovi starter packet. Get you a Costco membership so that you can buy these things in bulk. You will have them throughout your journey, or, be able to re-up in a large amount. Because these are things that I feel like I'm going to keep in my diet for as long as I am on Wigovi. Next up is a multivitamin. I got this from Costco, and I read a lot about what multivitamins to get. So many people said that the gummies are easier to stomach on those queasy days when and if you do wake up nauseous. It's easier to stomach this, and it's not as harsh on the stomach. So I got gummies. Because sometimes I will wake up nauseous, and it's hard for me to even think about food. I was never a morning person food anyway. I read to get these protein shakes. Again, Costco. On Amazon, they're like dumb expensive. And at Costco, they had like chocolate and strawberry and other options. So I don't remember what the unit price was, but it was considerably cheaper at Costco. And I got a bunch, and I'll just have them. And I was scared because I'm a real coffee drinker, and I'm like, oh, I still want to drink my coffee. I'll use this as my creamer, so I'm getting protein. Because again, you are forgetting to eat a lot, or you're not so hungry, but the body needs protein for fuel. So my protein intake is the most important thing for me. So I start my day using that as the creamer in my coffee. I don't add any additional sugar. And then I might eat a hard-boiled egg or something like that. But I'm constantly watching my protein so that I have energy. And I'm also feeling more full off of eating protein than I would garbage. And another thing that you could get in bulk is these Liquid IV. This is 30 sticks. It's way cheaper at Costco. I got a bag of 30 for $22, and I think a bag of 24 on Costco or on Amazon is like $27, I think. Costco always has deals on Liquid IV. What Liquid IV does is basically it's a packet that you put into water, and it really helps with hydration and particularly electrolytes. I read a lot of people talk about nausea happening because blood sugars are dipping low. Again, you're eating less. Your brain is being told that you're full and you're not really eating a lot. So your blood sugars get low. This is packed with sugar and sodium and potassium. There's a lot of them that don't have sugar in it or have artificial sugar in it, but I've been trying to make a change where I don't eat so many artificial sugars and I just stick to like real sugar and just eat like way less of it. So that is like, let me see. It's a packet of 45 calories for a packet. I already knew about Liquid IV because if you ever have a hangover, that'll make it like you didn't have a hangover, okay? I'm not even kidding. It's like a magical thing if you're ever hungover. But now I'm not drinking. I totally quit drinking some time ago, but it's tasty and it helps make sure that you don't, dip below where your blood sugars are supposed to be and gives you those electrolytes. All of these things are things, like I said, that you can get at Costco. The B12 I got on Amazon, but it's Costco. At Costco, I'm sure you can find a big old thing of B12. Oh, and I forgot to mention, get you one of these. I've had this for a long time. This is my brand name. If you don't know, my name is BEATFACEHONEY, and I sell lashes, and you can book me to do your makeup at BEATFACEHONEY.com, right there. But this is Yeti. I don't know if you've ever heard of Yeti. If you've not, then you're missing out. This is a little handheld water jug that keeps water freezing cold for hours. It'll keep water cold overnight. And I'll put in, this one is 26 ounces. You can get it bigger or smaller. But I'll put one Liquid IV in here, and I will drink it throughout the day. So I'm only using one pack of 45 calories, and I will use that, like I said, throughout the day. I'm drinking more than this. As I progress through the bottle, I'll pour more water in, and it dilutes the Liquid IV because it starts out real sweet, which is super yummy, but I'll just keep cracking away, when I sip water. If it gets down to like, say here, I'll add more water and it dilutes. So I never really know how much water I've drank in a day, but it is definitely like more than 2 of these. I love my Yeti. I love my Yeti so much. I've always loved Yeti. It keeps your cold drinks cold and your hot drinks hot. So great. And one of the biggest things that I forgot to tell you guys is that I am tracking my calories. I'm making such a conscious effort to make sure that what I'm putting in my body, I'm being held accountable for, and I'm tracking it. The app that I'm using right now, I love it right now. It's called My Plate. It makes it easy for me to track my food in there. It syncs up with my iPhone. It knows how many steps I take. I wear a Apple Watch, but if you wear a Fitbit or whatever, I'm not sure that it will link up with Fitbit, but I don't know why not. It links up with my Apple Watch, so I don't know. But it's a moving scale. So if I move more, if I go work out, if I go, and I'm shopping that day and I'm taking more steps than I would normally, it is adding to how many calories I can have. It factors in my weight, my goal weight, my present weight, my goal weight, and it gives me a certain amount of calories that I can eat within the day to reach that goal. But as you move around throughout your day, it'll add calories back. Like, okay, you can have this back. And it's still within the frame of you'll lose X amount by this time, you know? So accountability has really been working for me. And it probably has a lot to do with why I lost that nearly 7 pounds in that first week. So at this point, I'm not sure if I'm going to put it in the title or if I've already said it yet, but I did lose 6.8 pounds in my first week. I don't expect for that to be the result every week. It is just a slow process. It is not like when I looked at all of what everybody was saying, nobody said they lost a crazy amount of weight quickly. It was always like, in 6 months, I lost 45 pounds. Which to me, who's been doing crash diets my whole life, I'm like, 45 pounds in 6 months? I could do that in half that time. But I wasn't doing it the right way. And I wasn't eating healthy. And a lot of times I wasn't even eating at all. I'm not injecting something into my body that we don't even know what the long-term effects are, just for me to be on some BS and not learn a valuable, new, healthy lifestyle. I'm doing this because I need to learn what to eat that makes my body full, stay away from the artificial sugars, understand what a healthy amount of real sugar is, and just kind of jumpstart and restart my body. So one of the downsides is we don't know what the long-term effects of Wigovi are. And another downside is that it is a medication that is meant to be taken for your life. And I am, I guess, one of the guinea pigs. But so far, to not be hungry all day long, it is worth it to me. This has been a lifelong struggle. And to be able to eat a little bit and feel satisfied is amazing. To not be thinking about food all day is amazing. So it's something that I've dealt with. I'm nearly 40. At this point in my life, if I have not developed the willpower to stop myself thus far, I need to consider another option here because it ain't getting any easier for me to lose weight. I don't want to be on this forever, and I'm hoping that I learn like a different lifestyle, but I could see myself having different time spans where I'm on it and where I'm not. It's something that I have to talk about with my doctor. Anyway, that's where I'm at with it. I want to keep updating you guys on this topic. If you think that these are beneficial videos or would be beneficial videos, I would love to talk to you more about it. Maybe more about what I eat in a day or whatever, just, so you know my progress. And if I should get those symptoms, even if you don't want me to come back, I am coming back so I can tell you about it and how I got through it. But if you would like to see more of these videos, please make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel. Ask me all kinds of questions below so that I know what you want me to touch on. I love you guys. And thanks for stopping by. And I'll be back to see you soon.